Now that you know what types of events you can hold, how to utilize your support team, and what it means to incorporate the National Girl Scout program, you're ready to get started. As you jump into planning your event, it's important to know what to cover when meeting with your community leadership team, the required training for event volunteers, required forms for each type of event, how to make your event council sponsored, and how to submit your event to the council. When meeting with your team, determine the desired outcomes of your event, the purpose of your event, the type of event you will put on, what journeys and badge activities will be at your event, your target audience, the number of participants you plan to have, and how the event meets the community leadership team's goals. As you're planning your event, it's important to know who your audience will be and how many participants you will serve. Begin by asking what grade level will your event serve. Is this an event for daisies and brownies? Will you be focusing on older girls? Will parents or troop leaders be invited to participate in the event? What is the maximum number of participants your event can have? It's important to consider your event space and the number of adults you will have helping you when determining the maximum number of girls your event can serve. What is the minimum number of participants you will need to hold the event? This number is also very important and will help you determine if the event should be canceled when fewer people than expected register. How many participants will you need to make the event financially viable? How many girls will you need to make the event activities effective in providing cooperative learning opportunities? Be realistic with your maximum and minimum numbers. You may be tempted to say that you will hold the event even if just one girl registers. But will that really be an effective use of resources? It's important that your event committee receives the proper training to provide the best possible event. Event and outdoor representatives must complete this blended learning training every 3 years. Day camp volunteers are required to complete 4 hours of training and 18 hours of training for day camps lasting more than 2 weeks. It's important to take time to provide volunteers with specific training for your event, including emergency procedures, contingency plans, managing behaviors, conflict resolution, Girl Scouting goals and objectives, site orientation, health and safety measures, team building, position tasks, and supervision techniques and responsibilities. You can also supplement training with existing council trainings, including Camping 101, grade level training, Journeys training, planning trips with Girl Scouts, lunch and learn topics, and older girl trainings including program aid, volunteer in training, and counselor in training. For all council-sponsored events, the events committee must submit the following forms to the council: the community-sponsored event form, the extra insurance form, a program release form per participant, a sales tax summary, a financial report, a health record log, an incident/accident report, and the high adventure activity form for events that include high adventure activities. Day camps require a few additional forms. Day camps must be council-sponsored. A medication log, health history consent form, and no-show forms must be submitted for day camps. Never the Same Weekend events are unique and must be coordinated with the council outdoor program team. They may require additional forms depending on what your event committee wants to do. All fundraising events must be coordinated with the council philanthropy department. Sales tax reimbursement is not available for fundraising events. When submitting your community-sponsored event form, you will need to be able to answer these questions. Who is the main contact person, and what date did they attend the council-sponsored event training? Will the council handle registrations, or will the community handle it, and when will registration close? How will activity credits be handled? What is the name, theme, purpose, and activities of the event? Which of the 4 pillars is the focus of the event? STEM, life skills, entrepreneurship, or outdoor programs? And how does the program connect to the 4 pillars? What are the dates, times, and locations of your event? What will you charge participants, and what is included in that fee? Will participants get meals, patches, or supplies through their participant fee? For marketing purposes, provide a detailed description of your event and a one-sentence summary. What high-adventure activities will you have at your event, if any? Who can attend your event, and what grade level or levels is your event for? And what is the minimum and maximum number of participants needed to run the program? When creating your event timeline, it's a good idea for your community leadership team to start with the event start date and work backwards. If, for example, your event will be on October 1st, you will want to determine how far in advance you will need your registration deadline to be. How far before your registration deadline will you need to distribute your flyers and other marketing materials? When will you need to get your flyers to the printer? When do you need to order patches, t-shirts, and other event materials? And how will your registration deadline affect these orders? What other event materials need to be prepared and printed? Are there contracts that will need to be signed and rental fees that are due? How far in advance do you need to complete those? In order for these things to happen, when do you need to have major event decisions made? When will you need your committee trainings completed? And when should you have your first committee meeting? Share your timeline with your committee and ask for their input. This checklist will help guide you as you create your timeline. It's important to begin planning your event well in advance and to include each event as part of your community leadership team's year plan and calendar. Attend required training well in advance. 2 months before the event, be sure to have your event committee ready. Create your event timeline and delegate individual tasks. 6 weeks before your event, finalize your program outline. Acknowledge and plan for risks. Submit your event for council approval, and promote your event. 2 weeks before the event, send your extra insurance enrollment forms to the Girl Scouts Council and send program confirmations to your participants. 1 week before the event, finalize your event logistics with your committee, review paperwork, follow your day of event outline. Don't forget to follow up after your event by sending post-event forms. Send thank yous to all adult leaders, partners, and participants.